So you're probably used to journaling in something that looks a little bit like this, right? What if you had a paperless journal option that looked something a little bit like this, right? So this is taken from the Happiness Bar, which is a digital gratitude journal that you can download right now. The main point of this video is that it's built on Notion, and lots of people love Notion for journaling just because it is so flexible and you can build something that is so personal to your journaling experience. And I'm going to show you a few techniques that I use in the Happiness Bar to help you build your dream journal. And if you do end up getting the Happiness Bar, that can show you how to customize it a bit more. So here's a quick overview of the journal. So you've got today's journal section for quick entry, then you've got a big calendar here where you can see your mood and also self-care tips from people in the community. Lots of things going on in here. As I mentioned, this is all built in Notion, and Notion starts out looking a little something like this. That's right, a blank page. And so I'm going to show you how to get somewhat closer from this back to what you just saw. So first of all, Notion does actually have a journal template that you can build on top of out of the box. So if you go into personal, then so Notion does actually have a journal template out of the box that you can use. It's in the personal section. It is super basic, so it's nothing like the Happiness Bar that you just saw. Okay, so first things first, it's spat it out as so that the journal table is the full page. I kind of find it annoying because it means that you can't put anything underneath it or above it and move stuff around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a blank page. Okay, and I'm going to literally just drag it into that page. And I'm now going to turn it inline. There we go. Way more useful to work with. Okay, so the first thing I want to teach you about journaling is templates. So templates are really easy to make. You can access them through here. Notion already has one. It's called the daily entry. So to edit it, you can go in through here and click edit, or actually when you want to go and make a new journal entry, what you can do is you click on the page, click into the page, or you can edit from within here and through over here. So I'm going to click on edit this template, but you could also make a brand new template. And so I get a lot of inspo for layouts and things and questions to ask from Pinterest. And so I actually don't really love any of this in here, but you can fill this with prompts like, what are you manifesting today? How are you feeling today? What's a positive force in your life? What are you grateful? Super for basic, and I'm just going to highlight them and turn them all into quick headers. Again, you can make all of these super, super personal to you, but essentially the premise is when you go to create a new journal entry, it basically populates whatever you did, whatever you made in your template when you click cool. So, okay, we did that in quite literally 30 seconds, but for example, then yeah, you could eventually build that up when you spend more time on it into something like I've done in the happinessbar.com, where it's really beautiful layout. You can change the colors, drag and drop things around, add GIFs, animations, all of that essentially, but the template part is the key bit. Okay, back here, now we need to figure out what we actually want to track in this journal. So I'm gonna unwrap the template. So I'm just gonna add a view, call it database. I'm gonna drag this to the top. Okay, cool. So these are the columns we're currently working with. So we've got your name, when the journal was created, and I'm actually gonna just change this to a date property. And you got some tags here. You can keep these. I would personally break these out. So I would have time tags. So I'm just gonna, then you've got your tags. But then I would actually probably break up daily from the rest of these. So I'm just gonna delete it. Just because it's like a time variable and not really a topic. The rest of them are, and I'm gonna put a type property which is single select because you can't have more than one type. So daily, and then I'm also gonna create one for monthly. There we go. And another thing you might want to track in your journal is your mood. So mood, and why not have fun with it and say I'm feeling. Personal copy is something that makes your Notion feel a bit more special, in my opinion. Let's make this single select, and then I'm going to say add in some options for happy and sad. I feel like those colors should have been the opposite way around, but you get what I mean. Okay, so this is the most basic of the basic infrastructures, right? And so I'm going to name this something that I can find easily. So first thing I'm going to do here is, I'm going to relabel that to date, is I'm going to create some dummy entries so that we have some data to play with. Journal A, journal B, and journal C, and I'm just going to say January. So we've got some dates. Why not? And then January 1st and January 6th, and then January will go all the way from there, and we'll give it an end date to January 31st. So these would be daily. I'm using Command C or Control C. I'm just copying all the way down with keyboard shortcuts, and this would be a monthly journal. Cool. And so I'm actually going to connect these journals to January. So what I'm going to do is going to create another property. I'm going to call this days for month. Make this a relation property. I'm going to connect this database to itself. And this is a technique in Notion called relations. And normally you're connecting two databases to each other. So it could be like tasks and projects or parents and children. But this time we are connecting the same database. So to do that, we're going to sync both ways. We're going to create a two-way sync. Create relation. So now you've got the column you made there, and it's automatically created another one there. We're just gonna make this page a bit wider so it's easier to work with. I'm gonna label this one month for day. It's basic. All of these ones are days, so we're gonna match them up to a month. The only one we have in here is, this is like slow. The only one we have in here is January. Cool. And then I'm going to use Command C or Control C again and copy that and paste it all the way down for the rest of the daily entries. And it's also, in a second, all of these journals are going to populate in here, like so. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a quick sort, because for now, if I drag that there, it's going to get a bit messy, but I can sort this by type descending, and so it will sort by the order of the tags, which you can move like that. But okay, we've got our basic info here, and some cool information that you can get from this two-way sync is you can use another property type called a roll-up to basically summarize the information. Roll-ups and relations basically work together, and so to set one up, you click on the little pencil, and then Notion will ask you like, hey, which one of these relation properties, so the ones with the arrows, do you want to summarize? In this case, it's actually month for day. So basically, these are all the journal entries, and we want to summarize this information. So I'm going to do that, and so you see it spat them out here. But what we want to summarize actually is the mood, and so it's shown you all of the moods attached to it, but you don't want to repeat. So what you do is that you get Notion to show you unique values like so. I'm going to relabel this property this month you felt, and you'll notice now that like if I added in third mood, let's let's call this one excited. It automatically updates. So you can see that in January, that's how you felt because that's what you journaled. So now we've got like our data nearly set up. I'm just going to add some tags to these. Now it's time to create some like really valuable views. So for journaling, the first view that I think is useful is the today view. And so I like to have a quick way to, I can't even speak English. Okay, so for journaling, a really useful view actually is the today view. And so it's super easy to set up. So you do create linked database, and then you find the database of your journal. So you start typing its name. Okay. And it's going to spit itself out. The page up a bit. Okay. If you're not familiar with linked databases, all they do is if you change the information in one place, it's going to change the information everywhere that like linked database is. Like another word, I guess you could use as a sync database. Anyways, what we're going to do here is actually turn this into a today view, like we said. And so to do that, we're going to filter this, add a filter where the date is today. And so it's only going to show journals where the date entry is today. And why this is useful, let's say I deleted that. If I hit new, it's automatically going to label the new journal with today's date, which is super, super handy. And add another layer on top of that, we're going to filter so that the type is also daily. And now, if you add a new journal entry, it's always going to be today's date, and it's always going to be tagged with daily. Okay. And another thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to hide that column. I'm also going to hide this column because this is a today's journal section. Make that a bit bigger. Boom. And to make the text a bit more user-friendly, now we know what is matching to what. I'm just going to rename this what month. And so I'm going to select January because that's a January. And let's say immediately, without even going into your journal, you're going to say that this is a personal journal and that you're feeling happy today. Another type of really useful view is a calendar view. And this is really cool because if you're tracking things like mood, you can see those tags front and center. I'm not actually going to create a linked database again this time because I'm lazy. I am just going to duplicate that entire block. And now I'm going to add a view to this, which is the calendar view. Okay, cool. And so now I'm actually going to switch this to show me some properties. So I want this to show me just the mood, actually. So I'm feeling, and let's throw the topic in there too. So now you've got a nice wide view of all of your journals, and you can like scroll through month by month and then like click into each page and start journaling by hitting your template. And so that's kind of the basic functionality sorted. And now it's time to kind of like make it look prettier. Up here we've got some properties. I'm going to hide a few of these. So I'm going to hide this what month property because you're never going to really need to like know that you're in January when you're in a daily journal. So always going to hide that one. I'm also going to hide the type of journal because you're only alternating between daily and monthly, and it's like pretty obvious which one you're dealing with. I'm going to keep that topic one, but I am going to make this one hide when empty. So it will show up in over here because it's not empty and there's stuff filled in, but it's not going to show up in the daily version, which is what we do. I am going to keep this one here. There are some more advanced techniques where like you can show these journals down here using a technique called self-referencing databases. But I don't want this video to be super long, and I'm gonna keep this I'm feeling one in there just in case you want to like rate your month essentially. Another technique that I like to use are colored boxes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a call out box. It's just a big box which gives a colored background to whatever it is that you have. And so I'm going to highlight this whole like today's journal bit, and I'm going to drag it into there. You can keep the emoji as the icon, or like find another emoji, or upload your own image or GIF, but I kind of find them annoying. So what I do then is I turn this into text, and now you just get a nice clean box which separates and highlights this section. Another technique that I like to use are GIFs. Oh my goodness. So we're back in my journal, and well, I've used a lot of the same techniques that I just showed you. So the colored boxes, the today's journal, the calendar, it's just a bit prettier and polished, and I've pre-connected every single day of the year already, and like made all the prompts. So this one's like fully fleshed out. Yeah, it does take a bit of time to do, but in my opinion, totally worth it. But you see, you've got the GIFs everywhere, and I actually have a whole GIF library in here for people to choose from and like personalize their journal. And I'm going to steal a GIF to show you what I mean in the example that we're working on right now. So I get most of my GIFs from giphy.com, and it's amazing. And if you want GIFs with a transparent background, which are good for things like just decorating the page or icons, you'll need GIF stickers. And if you want things like cover images, then you can use any of like the normal GIFs essentially. But these are all GIFs from my personal collection. I'm kind of feeling this spinning star, so I'm gonna go into here and I'm gonna copy the link and go back to our page, and I'm gonna make this the icon by pasting the link. Cute. And I'm also gonna like decorate the page. I just realized this is down here, so let's move that. I'm gonna create like 2 columns quickly. I created those dividers by just hitting 3 dashes, and it automatically creates a divider for you in Notion. And I'm gonna drag this table, and I'm gonna copy and paste the original like spinning star image and embed it as an image. And now it's just really cute on the page. And so this is the original journal. I'm going to move this back down, and I'm actually going to hide this whole thing in a toggle. So do that. I'm going to create a toggle, call it all entries. I'm just going to put it in here, get rid of that. And you can imagine that maybe you would write yourself a really nice message at the top, a bit like what I have at the moment. I'm going to drag and drop this into here. I always put a space where it says type something because it's really annoying. But yeah, imagine you had like a really nice message in here, calling it my journal. That's like a really quick layout. You can also do other things, like if you want this to be more like bullet journal vibes, you can also have a section for like goals. Use Notion's like to-do list function. So I'm going to hit / and start typing TO, which will bring me up a checkbox. And then a goal might be get better at Notion, right? And so you can always have your goals here. And another thing you can do, which I've done here in the happiness bar, is you can put your goals in a toggle like so. If you can imagine, that list could get huge, and you can set yourself up a page where you basically create like a visualization worksheet of everything that you want to do. And you can, if you use the @ function, like at 6th June, for example, you can set yourself a reminder, and basically Notion will remind you to open that page on that date. So as kind of like a time capsule letter. By using a lot of the tricks that we learned today, you can build yourself a really beautiful journal like this. And yeah, you can take it with you wherever you go. And so it's like perfect if you're a nomad. You know, you're never going to lose it, or you're never going to have to worry about fitting it in your backpack. It's just been really cool to see, specifically with the happiness bar, like this journal community grow, so that there is a market for digital journals. And I do see this becoming a thing that becomes more and more popular as time goes on. So all very exciting stuff. If you have any questions about any of the techniques that we discussed today, feel free to comment below. Okay, I mean, who am I? Yeah, my name is Frances Adair Matthews. I'm the founder of the Notion Bar, and I'm a certified Notion consultant. So I help companies and businesses build virtual offices and bespoke business tools like client portals, as well as build digital products. So I have a bunch of templates on my site, as well as like offer trainings, company workshops, or for membership groups. But on top of that, like I offer one-on-one coaching. So if you are just stuck on something specific in Notion, or just need someone to almost hold your hand through like building something, that is something that you can book directly on my site as well. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Can't wait for you all to start journaling in Notion. Let me know what you learned today in the comments, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Have a great one.